everyone, this is Sunny and welcome back to my channel. I have very dim light, so I apologize. The sun's going out, not much light is left, so bear with me. It's just a few minutes for the reading. So for today, I have what does your crush think, but your crush isn't telling you about you, right? So from left to right, I have pile 1, 2, and 3, so stop the video if you feel like you need more time. Otherwise, I'll see you at your pile of choice. I'm sorry for my voice, it's not doing that great today. It's a little scratchy, so I just decided to talk lower. So raise that volume, by the way, in case you need to hear me a little bit closer. So for the first one, you have the Fool upright. So what does your crush think about you, but they don't tell you? Pile number 1, they think you are not very mature about your choices or decisions in life. They might be a little bit judgy, maybe. They're a little serious, but they do think of you as someone that's kind of naive, free-spirited, someone that's not held bound to a certain scenario, thing, or idea. You're someone that's always venturing out, and you don't really think before you act. That's something that's very prominent from your energy pile 1, and they'd see you as someone that's always adventurous, ready for the next step. So whether you think this is an insult or not, take, whatever resonates with your situation. Every person will take messages differently, but I do think they see you as someone that's kind of green, kind of inexperienced, kind of head in the clouds. You're not really looking at the cliff that you could possibly fall down if you're not careful. But they might be a little bit judgy of you. But it's up to you whether you decide to take that personal. But again, this is just what they think, not necessarily what I think or what you think of yourself. But yeah, they see you as someone who's not really focused on being serious or taking life seriously. They're someone that sees you as someone who probably likes to have fun and party with your friends for the most part. And just travel. You do seem like a travel bug for most of you guys. So remember, this is just a general reading. But remember, this is just something that can change easily. But yeah, that's what they think about you. They do think that you are someone that's quite a fool, as the card says, but it's not always relevant to how you are in person, right? This is just what they do think, but they're not telling you. So that's what I have for you, pile 1. The next one, pile number 2, I have the King of Cups reversed. I think it's not getting out of focus, sorry. I don't know why my cards are, maybe it's because I don't have that much light. So pile number 2, what does your crush think about you, but they won't tell you, is that they see you as someone that's kind of, regardless of your exterior, you're someone that may be a little bit icy with your responses, or at least your demeanor, that even though you are someone that's kind of, maybe not always introverted, but someone who kind of likes to be alone, or likes to not associate with people, they see you as someone who puts up boundaries, and those boundaries tend to be maybe a little bit icy. So maybe that's not your actual persona, but they see you as someone who puts up strong boundaries, who's icy, who's cold, not someone who expresses much emotions, because you kind of put up a front where you're very in control of what you share, because you like to protect yourself, and they kind of pick up on that. So your crush does think of you that you're someone that's very, maybe a little bit emotionally repressed, or someone that's not, maybe you once were pretty bright, and then suddenly you kind of just had to figure out your way, where you had to learn to be adaptive and respectful of your heart. So you have to kind of protect that heart space. So they see you as someone who had to put a lot of BS, so basically you're kind of forced to be a little bit more icy. So that's how they see you. But I do think that they see you as someone who's very statusy, like high status, but you're very humble about it. They do see that. It's not like you eat it up. Like, yes, treat me like a queen, treat me like a king. They see you as someone that is well off in that aspect, or well nurtured, who grew up well nurtured, and you nurture people, but you're picky about it. So they do pick up on that. But they do see you as someone who is very, maybe slightly from time to time immature when it comes to maybe your emotions. And when you're upset, you could be a little bit picky, nitpicky, or judgy. Maybe from time to time you could be manipulative because you want to stay grounded, or you want to stay where you're at, so that's why they can kind of clash with you from time to time. That's not always, that's just them if they catch you in a bad day. And if they catch you in a good day, you're someone that's more calm, but also someone who's very private about what's going on in their head and their heart. So they see you as someone who's very protective of that heart space and your emotions, because you don't want people to get a hold of it and take advantage of your kindness, So that's what they read from this energy. So I will start with the next one, pile number 3, last but not least. You guys have the 8 of Pentacles reversed. So what does your crush think about you, pile 3? Pile 3, they think that you're not a very... Maybe that you're someone that gets to spend their money as they want because it's not something that costs you effort. Like, they see you, like, example, someone that is well off because of their family or their acquaintances. They get to travel because they're well connected, and their friends never ask anything like monetary value because they themselves are well off, and they want to kind of pitch in or help out. It's not something that they necessarily see, but you kind of pick up maybe. So they probably judge you because of that. They're like, oh, this person doesn't handle their finances right, or everything that they have comes easy to them. It's like they didn't really have to work hard for their assets or their standing, social standing, something physical, tangible, like house, clothing, trips, accessories, friendships. It just feels like you made it look easy. So they're maybe a little bit apprehensive and judgy because of that. There's slightly maybe some envious tones because your crush has to probably work very hard for what they have. And it's not that they shouldn't. There's no right answer whether they should or shouldn't, but from their perspective, they wish that they could have more by considering all the things and efforts they've done thus far compared to you. So I don't know if necessarily that's what you want to have around, but your crush is more or less thinking about that, but they're not telling you because it can backfire. It feels like they can backfire because you could badmouth him, or maybe just put them in their place, and maybe actually make them feel like they're less than or less worthy than who you are. But that's just from perspective. It doesn't mean you will, and it doesn't mean that even if you do, it's an actual thing. It just means that they don't take negative scenarios or rejection quite well. So they do see you as someone who maybe also focuses on themselves and inverts that. If this isn't the scenario, it can be also that they see you putting yourself as an investing in yourself, investing in your body, in your mind, in your soul, and you kind of retreat, take some retreat time away from people so you can kind of focus on your health and focus on yourself to make yourself feel beautiful from within and self-sufficient and confident. So they do pick up on that, not just like the monetary value. So they do see you as someone that kind of wants to focus on growing that inner world richly, and you're nurturing yourself, and they can see it. They can see the growth. They can see the change, right? they do see it as a slow change maybe, or at least changes that are subtle, that they don't see right away, but over time, over a long period of time, they can very much see. So it's like short term, it's like, oh, little things, but long term, it's like, oh, I see the big difference, right? So that's more or less what I have for you guys, and I'll see you soon. So thank you all for listening. Have a lovely day. So bye-bye, everybody.